Steve Irwin has you pinned down in a headlock. What cool facts does he tell the audience about you and your habitat? Hire a guys, subscribe now, or I will leak your hidden folders. This little bugger simulates reproduction up to 5 times a day. Almost exclusively without a mate. Then I imagine he would shove a Dorito in my mouth and chuck me back into my bedroom. Steve, in a barely audible whisper as he gets low to the ground, the Eusquianus is an endangered fella, meaning there aren't many of them left, and he most likely won't find a mate. Now if you watch Air, he's Trina Retractashila. 5 minutes of silence as Squianus stares at his screen, before typing sub to the OnlyFans girl he subbed to. Followed by more dead silence. Better luck next time, little fella. If you see one of these in the wild, it's crucial you give them the space they need, as many of them can be highly poisonous. If you knew how hard I laughed at this, you'd be proud of yourself. Be very careful, mates. We have to show dominance. If we show any affection towards this creature, he'll get attached to us and never leave us alone. Truly one of the most terrifying beasts in North America. When I was a kid, my parents were about to get divorced, so I spent my time hiding. One day, I was so desperate for some human contact that I sat in a busy place on the playground and looked sad, hoping someone would ask if I was okay. I did something similar that I can't even bring myself to fully explain. I don't think I really recognized how lonely I was. I used to do this, but people kept coming over and asking me, "Are you okay, little buddy?" and that would annoy me because I didn't actually want to be around people. I just didn't want to feel lonely. This hit me in the feels. When you're little you don't understand it yet. At least I didn't. Wait, I feel like this and I don't understand it yet. What is it? Edit, should say I'm autistic. You crave attention because you're lacking it where you should have it, such as parents. So you do things like sit in a park and act sad. People ask you if you're sad but you don't want their attention, you want whoever's attention you're missing, and so it causes this sort of anger. You want to not be lonely but not the attention of some random. When I was younger this was very confusing to me because even when I got what I wanted, someone's attention, it's not what I actually wanted, so it can cause anger and frustration. Man, I miss that guy. Towards the end of my tenure at the cum bottling plant we used to get huge purchase orders from his rescue habitats all over Australia. At the what? Bro, you know. The cum bottling plant. Your mom got fired for drinking on the job, remember? Such low-hanging fruit, but still hilarious. Yes, she did prefer the elderly comedians to anything else. This little fella looks upset, but he actually craves physical contact. Edit. Lot of you weirdos are into thumbs in buttholes. He's a little sad now. Why don't you pet him? Give him a little rub. Red rocket, red rocket. I was gonna say. Knowing Steve, he would say a lot of nice things and I would just start crying. Oh, this one's a beauty. Amazing. Look at those tears, too bad they're crocodile tears. As you can see, he has a little well-known illness called clinical depression. Poor fella. He would rather avoid all physical contact so not to get hurt when we put him down and abandon him later. He's also a little worried about hurting us when he decides it's time to kill himself, which we hope will be never. He's just too important to the rest of the world and much too beautiful. It would be a completely tragedy if we lost him too soon. I've been having a few tough nights, like really tough depression nights. Thanks for this. This Air is a common member of his species, and as you can see he's got a fairly advanced case of fur loss, especially concentrated hair at the top of his head. Many males you find in the wild with this condition will try to compensate by growing the fur around their faces, and this fella is no different. This one looks like he spends his days being poked and nipped at by his wee ones. Note the characteristic paunchy belly and the general lack of muscle tone. This fella can spend up to 12 hours a day grazing and trying to find a nice spot to curl up for some shooty. Edit. Apparently I've accidentally re-imagined Steve Irwin as a 19th century Cockney boot black, but I'm leaving it. The first half of this hits too close to home. Just wait till you start experiencing the second part. I ride curled up on the floor next to my 2-year-old's bed at 3 in the morning. She's ill and require constant soothing. No, we don't know if it's corona. My wife is in our bedroom with a squealing 3-week-old. I fell asleep during a lecture today. Not one I sat as a student. A lecture I was giving. Now looky here. Notice how he seems almost entirely apathetic to my attack. That's because he spends almost every waking moment pretending not to be bothered by the current situation he is in, despite the fact that he is incredibly irritated. To him, this is just another Monday morning staff meeting. He is truly a gorgeous example of mental endurance. That's the spirit. How the foo did I get 2.5k upvotes for this lame comment? It was sincere but still. Crikey. This little Ranger is quite the sneaky little one. This particular type of animal can hide in a dark room all day and never even see the sunshine. She will do as much as she can to avoid others of her kind. Edit. I don't remember what he called Ginger, so I fixed it. Thank you for correcting me, fellow redditors. Man, are all gingers the same? Same, it's the soul that makes the sun feel good. So probably. The Irish really are the damned. I don't care. He calls me a beaut and I really needed to hear it. You're a beaut, mate. No, you're a beaut. You're all beauts. Oh, he's angry. Calm down, big fella, ain't gonna hurt ya. Yeah, there we go. See, he likes when I give his noggin scritches like this. Yeah, these guys like to get all big and blustery, especially in front of a keyboard. They'll be real mean to each other, but they're good folk though. Just gotta let them know ya care about 'em. Everyone acting like Steve ever said something bad about the animals. That's not a thing. Hagrid is the fictional version of Steve Irwin. I never put it together until now. They both ways talk about how good-natured every animal creature is. Truly awesome. Crikey. This animal lives in a dilapidated bachelor pad and is capable of eating his weight in pudding over a weekend. Edit. Thanks for the gold and the little angel thin. Audible gasp from the audience. Audible gasp from the dilapidated bachelor pad. Isn't he a beauty? You're alright, fella. You're alright. This guy is out looking for a Sheila, but he isn't having much luck. He's coming in late to the party. I laughed way harder at that last bit than I probably should have. At least you aren't the one thinking it might not be so bad to be pinned down by Steve Irwin. God, I'd love to get pinned down by any of the Irwins. The plus side to being B. I'm with you there, stranger. I'm with you there. Now I know what you're thinking. This here fella looks like an absolute killer. He's big, he's covered in hair, and if he wanted to, he could probably knock my block off with one swing. The truth is, his kind look far more scary than they really are. Despite their size, they are actually quite timid, and will only attack when threatened and backed into a corner. Truth is, he just wants to find a Sheila he can settle down with and, who knows, maybe have a couple of kids. Sadly, this fella hasn't had much luck lately. He's the last of his line, and it would be crying shame if he never got a family of his own. Puts PS to controller in my hands. Luckily, here at Australia Zoo, we have a state-of-the-art gaming room, where this fella can play the video games of his youth, and relive his days as a juvenile, when life seemed so full of possibilities. Edit. Typed this just before I went to bed thinking I was far too late to the party to get noticed. Thanks for all the upvotes and awards. I hope this made you laugh, and I'm sorry if it makes you sad. If it did, please be kind to yourself. Life has a way of untangling itself. Steve would want you to care for yourself just as much as he'd want you to care for nature. That made me a little sad. Edit. That made me a lot sad. He's getting quite angry when he's getting poked with a stick. Pokes me with a stick, dude. Fuck off, nasty fella. Awesome question. This unusually large example of his species is known to consume enormous quantities of cheese in one sitting. He is a very stealthy creature, with the ability to sit in one spot at a computer for up to 8 hours at a time. Edit. This number has been drastically reduced since the introduction of mate and offspring into the nest. Do you just like grab a cheese block and chow down? Do you not? A man of cultured milk, I see. Well played. This one right here can put up a fight if you put a bold Cheetos within the area. Good thing is that this bloke is actually calm because he ate a full bowl of Cheetos. I find it easiest to subdue one of these little fellas by withholding a local treat, empty dew, till it settles down and plays nice. See, this is why you take physical exercise seriously, kids. If you act like him and sit in front of a computer all day, it's really easy to pull a sneaky one, and yeah, that's already, guys, and don't forget, please subscribe or I will leak your hidden folders.